From PEP Radio Studios, it's time for Today in History for July 27th. On July 27th, 1953, the Korean Armistice Agreement was signed at Panmunjom, ending 3 years of fighting on the Korean peninsula that killed an estimated 4 million people. Also on this date in 1789, President George Washington signed a measure establishing the Department of Foreign Affairs, forerunner of the Department of State. In 1866, Cyrus W. finished laying out the first successful underwater telegraph cable between North America and Europe. In 1909, during the first official test of the U.S. Army's first airplane, Orville Wright flew himself and a passenger, Lieutenant Frank Lahm, above Fort Myer, Virginia for 1 hour and 12 minutes. In 1940, Billboard magazine published its first music popularity chart, listing best-selling retail records. In first place was I'll Never Smile Again, recorded by Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra, with featured vocalist Frank Sinatra. In 1967, President Lyndon B. Johnson appointed the Kerner Commission to assess the causes of urban rioting. The same day, Black militant H. Rap Brown told a press conference in Washington that violence was as American as cherry pie. In 1974, the House Judiciary Committee voted 27-11 to adopt the first of 3 articles of impeachment against President Richard Nixon, charging he had personally engaged in a course of conduct designed to obstruct justice in the Watergate case. In 1980, on day 267 of the Iranian hostage crisis, the deposed Shah of Iran died at a military hospital outside Cairo, Egypt, at the age of 60. In 1981, 6-year-old Adam Walsh was abducted from a department store in Hollywood, Florida, and was later murdered. Adam's father, John Walsh, subsequently became a victims' rights activist, and in 1988 launched and hosted the television show America's Most Wanted. In 1996, terror struck the Atlanta Olympics as a pipe bomb exploded at Centennial Olympic Park, directly killing 1 person and injuring 111. Anti-government extremist Eric Rudolph later pleaded guilty to the bombing, exonerating security guard Richard Jewell, who had been wrongly suspected. In 2012, Britain opened its Olympic Games in a celebration of Old England and new, even cheekily featuring stunt doubles for Queen Elizabeth II and fictional special agent James Bond parachuting into the Olympic Stadium. In 2013, security forces and armed men clashed with supporters of Egypt's ousted president Mohamed Morsi, killing at least 72 people. In 2015, the Boy Scouts of America ended its blanket ban on gay adult leaders while allowing church-sponsored scout units to maintain the exclusion for religious reasons. In 2018, the White House announced that North Korea had returned the remains of what were believed to be U.S. servicemen killed during the Korean War, with a U.S. military plane making a rare trip into North Korea to retrieve 55 cases of remains. In 2020, the world's biggest COVID-19 vaccine study began with the first of 30,000 planned volunteers helping to test shots created by the National Institutes of Health and Moderna, Inc. And in 2021, American gymnast Simone Biles pulled out of the gymnastics team competition at the Tokyo Olympics to focus on her mental well-being, saying she realized following a shaky vault that she wasn't in the right headspace to compete. That's Today in History for July 27th, 2026. Up next, we have more soulful jazz here on PEP Radio.